We're delighted to publish the 2017 edition of the Credit Suisse Research Institute's Emerging Consumer Survey. The study, now in its 7th year, reflects an ongoing partnership between Credit Suisse and the leading global market research firm Nielsen, who've conducted on our behalf 14,000 detailed face-to-face interviews with consumers across the 8 major emerging economies of Brazil, China, India, Indonesia, Mexico, Russia, South Africa and Turkey. In this year's study, our research finds consumer confidence improving from a year ago, with consumers in the major Asian economies of India, China and Indonesia reflecting the most optimistic outlook, and they top our emerging consumer scorecard. More than 40% in fact of Asian consumers expect to see their financial circumstances improve in the next 6 months. The survey does also note pressure has alleviated on consumers in commodity-sensitive countries like Russia, South Africa and Brazil, but in our view an inherent economic fragility and indeed a severe inequality of income amongst consumers still exists here. However, a firmer growth outlook supporting commodities and a reduction in the risks on currencies in those countries does actually offer a more confident outlook for 2017. In contrast, consumer confidence in Turkey and Mexico has sunk, with the protectionist and anti-immigration rhetoric of the new US administration at work in the latter. Alongside our country analysis, the study does draw out a series of key themes. The emerging middle class is continuing to emerge, with 10% of households in our survey now moving into middle income territory just over the last 3 years. And with it, the pattern of consumer spending is taking on ever more of a discretionary look and feel. For example, spending on travel and entertainment in China is booming, indeed representing over 10% of monthly spending by the Chinese consumer. An effective lifestyle upgrade is underway in our opinion. Meanwhile, new technology is and will continue to be the facilitator of changing consumer behaviour. With more than 1 billion consumers in our survey countries still to come online, we estimate that online retail spending can actually rise from its current $1 trillion to $2.5 trillion by 2025. We also find evidence of a more conscious consumer, focused on a more active, healthy lifestyle and engaged with the sharing economy. A more conscious way of life is arguably needed to mitigate what would otherwise be a growing and potentially unsustainable healthcare burden in the emerging world. Finally, as micro as the research in the report may be, there is a broader and higher level context to stress. With the political debate having taken on ever more of an anti-globalization tone and a focus on a more multipolar scenario for the world economy becoming ever more relevant, the rebalancing and growth we're witnessing in the emerging world, from a heavy reliance on investment and external trade to more domestic consumption and services, provides a powerful internal dynamic to growth that few other regions can boast. For further information, the full report is available from the Credit Suisse Research Institute website. Thank you.